Welcome back to the Fenway Focus. My name is Derek. As always, I am here with Jason, and the Red Sox have just been swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks. At least for me, a bittersweet series. Considering that the Diamondbacks are now 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. If you know me, the Diamondbacks are my adopted West Coast team, secondary team. I was at the game Saturday, where Zach Gallen looked amazing. I'll just say that before we get to the Red Sox stuff. So it was a great experience. I was sad I didn't get to see Ketel Marte because he's injured, but like I said, bittersweet because as much as I love the Diamondbacks, I'm never gonna root against the Red Sox. With like the rare exception if like the Red Sox are out of the playoff race and if this team beats the Red Sox, the Yankees don't make it. But like that's extremely rare, right? I'm not going to root against the Red Sox. Even with the Diamondbacks there, I'm not going to root against the Red Sox. But I was excited for this series, and as someone who likes both teams, Red Sox obviously number one in my heart. Diamondbacks are a clear second, but I was very excited for it. But it did not go the Red Sox way. They got swept, and it was not a pretty series at all. So I'll hand it over to you, Jason. Just on the series as a whole, doesn't feel that good, I don't think, considering that obviously the Diamondbacks have been very hot, but if you're the Red Sox, they really could not afford to be swept for their playoff chances.
No, they couldn't. And when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's an NL West team. It's not going to really matter in the long run. We were outpitched and you were outscored. There wasn't really a close game other than the third game. The third game, Hauk. It didn't really feel like the Sox were up until after when Hauk gave up that home run to Suarez. It was over. I'm like, this Sox. I just didn't feel a comeback in them. And grand scheme of things too, lucky for you, this on Sunday, August 25th, the Twins and the Royals did lose. So, or no, I don't think the Twins game's over yet, unless I'm tripping. Yeah, the Twins blew a 9. They blew it in the 9th. So, and there's 2 outs with a runner on the bottom of the 9th. So, anyways, you're still only going to be 3.5 out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Derek. Yeah, I just don't. Time's ticking, and I think a lot's going to come of this Toronto series because, yeah, you do have a doubleheader on Monday, but so do the Royals. So the best case scenario is you're going to be 1.5 games behind. What's the worst case scenario? 7.5. 7.5 is not impossible, but it's very unlikely. That's my thoughts.
They're 4.5 out, not 3.5 out.
Okay, 4.5.
So best actually. So because both teams, well, the Royals game actually technically isn't done, but they're down 11-3 in the 8th. They're probably losing. So if we say they lose, the Red Sox will be 4.5 back of the Royals and Twins. If the Royals win both games and the Red Sox lose both tomorrow, the Red Sox will be 6.5 back. If the Royals lose both, Red Sox win both, the Red Sox will only be 2.5 back, right? But it's very much and going into today, it was like, oh, by the time Monday comes, Red Sox could be 1.5 back, or they could be 7.5. Obviously, Red Sox losing doesn't help, but on the bright side, at least the Twins and Royals, they lose. Like, you don't lose any ground, I guess. But the Red Sox need to make up ground. They need to. They're behind 4 games in the loss column right now to the Twins, 5 to the Royals before this Royals game finishes, right? So it will be 4. They've got to make up those 4 losses somewhere throughout the rest of the season because they have the tiebreaker with the Royals. I'm interested, though, if it is a 3-team tiebreaker, I wonder how that works. Someone needs to crunch the numbers on that.
It's got to be in the book somewhere.
Yeah, no, somewhere, but I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know if it's a 3-team tiebreaker because the Red Sox have the tiebreaker on the Royals, but I think the Royals have the tiebreaker on the Twins. But I don't know if the Red Sox would have the tiebreaker on the Twins. So then I'm just saying it might get interesting.
Let me check.
But I just bring that up just as I'm not sure how it would go depending on And I don't know if the 3-team tiebreaker is any different, but I just bring that up as like a,
Oh, they still got to play the Twins at Fenway this year.
Yes, exactly.
So
that too.
But they're already down. They're 1-2, so they'd have to sweep to clinch the series. But it might be a 4-gamer.
Against Minnesota, it's a 3-game. It is a 3-game
so
series.
Well, I don't know what the tie is after that. But that's something you got to worry about. Week,
when you get, but week. You have to at least.
But it's something you got to look at right now and be
that's
okay.
Right near that Twin series is like right near the end of the year almost.
So it can make. Oh, that's going to be huge. That could be really huge.
That Twin series is September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So then they have 3 games Toronto, 3 games Tampa, and then that's it, right? So it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So it's an easier schedule after Minnesota, but at the same time, we're looking at like you said, like, okay, they didn't make up ground today, but they can only do that for so long. Where you want to make things interesting a week to go. This is not interesting. If there was a week to go, this would be a long shot.
Yeah,
like if it was a month,
no, not a long shot.
We're in August 25th. If we're talking talk to me in a month. September 25th, you're gonna be looking at yourselves, be like, oh my gosh, if they're 3.5 back, 3.5 and a 4.5 in with like a week or even 2 weeks to go, that's kind of scary, right? That's gonna make it. It gets scarier. It's kind of like I'm not. Now that's a bad analogy. I'm not doing an analogy, but my point is simply you did bring it up earlier. Like this, like when are the Sox going to start to make up ground? It's got to start soon. Arizona is probably the hottest team in the league right now. There is no disputing that. Taking one would have been fine. Taking one would have been great. And the Red Sox had the opportunity. Unfortunately, they were outplayed. Like Arizona's, like I said, I mean, the first 5 innings you were up. I know, but it felt like a long second half of the game. Like, I'll bring up the time real quick. The official time, 2 hours, 30 minutes. I'll say for an hour, it felt good for the Red Sox. And then after the 3-run inning, it was the 3-run top of the 5th. It's like, uh-oh. It was a weird throwing decision by O'Neill for Guillorme. But whatever. Yeah. The Red Sox were outplayed in the end of the game because I know Arizona struggled. They mentioned on the broadcast today, they've struggled pitching for years. They flat out outpitched you. Their hitting flat out blew you away. They let in hits today. They clearly let in hits on the second game.
Yeah, Zach Gallen was amazing.
Zach Gallen. Like, they clearly, and then the third game, it was one, but like it was the game you were at, Derek. They up until the 9th inning, they had 2 hits?
Yeah, no, literally
2 or 3 hits. So
literally,
and it's not a good look when you're up 4-0 and then you lose. That's just not a great look. So, and the Red Sox have a doubleheader. They gotta start making decisions on like 40-man spots for the extra game. So, or not 40-man spots, but like roster spots for the 27th man. That's another thing we'll get into.
And then also the extra 2 spots you get in September as well.
Yep.
As well. They're in such a weird spot right now because, do not get me, the Red Sox schedule isn't like that bad. They're playing Toronto, then they play Detroit, then they play I know the Mets have been better after like the first however many games of the season, do not get me wrong, but like the Mets and the Red Sox have very similar records, right? I think the Mets have just 1 more win. I think they have the same amount of losses as of recording. So, like, the Mets, yeah, you could take 2 out of 3 in that series, right? Then you play the White Sox. You better not lose that series, right?
Oh, then that's a must sweep.
Yeah, then you get Baltimore, New York back-to-back, but your last 4 series of the year are Tampa Bay, Minnesota's a big one, and then Toronto and Tampa, right? There's no outside. If against the Yankees and Baltimore, 7 games, if the Red Sox can win 4 of those, and then win at least. You got to win at least 3 against Toronto here in this 5-game series. You got to win at least 3. Detroit, you got to win at least 2. At least 2, right?
Oh,
The
for
White Sox, you
sure.
probably should sweep. You know,
White
Tampa.
Sox, yeah,
Out
White
of the
Sox
6
needs to
games
be a
against
sweep.
out of the 6 games against Tampa, you got to win 4, right? And against Minnesota, you got to win. You have to win at least 2. You have to.
Yeah.
If
And
not,
then,
sweep.
real quick,
And then against Toronto, you got the next. So they play 8 more games against Toronto. They probably got, honestly, out of those 8, they probably got to win 6. Let's be honest.
it will be okay. I'm looking at this right now. It will be a really good feeling for the Red Sox to sweep tomorrow because guess who the Royals play?
I think they play Philly. I think
No, now they're playing Philly. They have a doubleheader tomorrow with the Guardians.
Guardians. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
They're
Guardians
playing
are
a
75
makeup.
and 55.
They're
too.
playing they're resuming a game. Were they up?
No,
it was postponed. It was just a postponed. I thought it was it was just a postponed game. Okay.
Yeah.
5. Oh, that's whatever. So they have Cleveland. They have 4 with Cleveland in 3 days. Then they play Houston. That is in Houston. That's huge. September, they have the Guardians again, the Twins, and then the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, right? Even after that, Pittsburgh can be tricky, right? Especially if you get like Skeens and Jared Jones, like that's tricky, right? Detroit, and I say that, like, even the White Sox got played, like Detroit can be tricky as well. San Fran has, like, that's a team depending on the pitching matchups you get, they could you get like Snell and Logan Webb, or maybe a Robbie Ray if he's, depending on how he's doing, like. And then obviously they get Washington, but then they end the season with Atlanta. The Royals do, right? And there's that. And then you look at Minnesota, right? Minnesota right now is playing St. Louis. They play Atlanta next, Monday through Wednesday. Then they get Toronto, Tampa. They play Kansas City. Then they play the Angels, the Reds. Then they get Cleveland and the Red Sox back-to-back. They get Miami, but then they end the season on Baltimore. The Twins have an easier schedule, but they're out of their last, 4, 3, 10, out of their last 13 games, the only games that aren't going to be, like, legitimate, like, not must win, but, like, they need to win a bunch of those are, like, for just, like, in general, are going to be tougher games. The only games that aren't, like, tough games are the Marlins. But it doesn't mean the Marlins can't beat you, right? Cleveland, a 4-game series against Cleveland, in Cleveland, a 3-game series for the Twins in Boston. And if Boston's closed the distance in the wildcard race by then, that gets interesting. And then their last 3 games of the season, yeah, they're at home, but you're playing Baltimore, who is going to likely potentially still be fighting for the division those last 3 games of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, hold on, real quick. Off topic. The freaking games against the Rays are going for $2. What? Okay, yeah, but I get your point. But, like, yeah, it's this. The Sox they're still in it. It would have been great if they were tied right now, or like 1 or 2 games. The conversation would be kind of different. Like, I'm just gonna say it straight up. You start now looking at, like, okay, where were some of these winnable games? New York, the Rangers. That should have been a sweep, right? Didn't happen. Like, you want to look at games now and be you cannot be losing games like you did against the Rangers now. Like, that's just not unacceptable. Like, remember that crazy Reds game last year that I forget who the Reds played. I think they played like the Pirates.
Yeah. No, because I brought
that cannot happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, can't. I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, the Sox. Someone's got to step up, and boy, oh boy, that bullpen's got to get a hell of a lot better. You cannot
That's
be.
an understatement.
That is that is an understatement. They have like the worst bullpen, like in the second half. Like, you can't get any. I don't think you can get any worse, and it doesn't help when I'll pull up fan graphs real quick. But like, it doesn't help when like your freaking bullpen is taxed. I'm pulling it up. That's why I can't speak clearly right now. Okay, Fangraphs is not updated, but let's see. Joely Rodriguez, 3 straight games. Bernardino, 2 straight. 3 of his last 5. Kelly didn't pitch today. He hasn't pitched too much as of lately.
Yeah.
Lucas Sims back to back. Luis Garcia just pitched 3 out of 5, and he had an off day. Winkowski's probably not ready to go on Monday. He pitched 55 on Friday. We talked about this. It's just getting this um, on the podcast. So I don't know. They have an interesting. Watch the Worcester game today too. I know you're not going to watch it, but like look at the box score, and they could make a 40-man move. I don't think they necessarily will, but like it's interesting to look at.
Yes. Well, you also have to consider like who's going to, if depending on who's going to pitch, right? Because we talked about this a little bit before we recorded on the phone, but when we talked about, like, we were trying to think who's going to be the 27th man for the Red Sox. Probably going to be a pitcher. You're looking at the 40 man. It's like, okay,
Oh no, it's absolutely going to be a pitcher. No, there's no way it's a position player.
Oh yeah, no way, right? But you start looking, right, and it's okay. Is it going to be Chase Shugart or Bailey Horn? They're both on the 40 man. Boozers, remember, he's on the injured list. Slayton not yet, right? Liam Hendricks, not yet. I don't think. So when you look at it like that, and you start going, okay, who can the Red Sox go with? Like, there's not many options, right? On the 40 man, Priester's not happening. Weissert isn't, I don't think. Isaiah Campbell's not happening, right? And here's the thing too: you need someone who can potentially eat innings if needed. The Red Sox, the game starts in the 2nd inning with 1 out, right? So they got to eat 16 full innings and then 2/3 of an inning as well. So if you're the Red Sox, having Shugart might not hurt, because I know you don't want to throw the game away, but you need someone with length in that first game, right?
Yes.
You cannot wear the bullpen out for the second game and then for the next day as well, and just in that first game.
Oh no,
you need someone with length.
Like, there are guys like Priester's not an option.
No, because he pitched on, I think, Thursday. I think it was.
Jason Alexander's not an option.
Fitz is interesting because he'd be on 4 days rest, but you have to think that you have to remember this about the minor leagues. The Red Sox, they have a 5-man rotation in AAA, but they have an off day every Monday, so he's mostly pitching on 5 days rest. Now, he didn't pitch today, so they're actually kind of right now in Worcester, because since they added Rich Hill, they're kind of doing a little bit of like a 6-man rotation, because Justin Hagenman's starting today instead of Fitz. So maybe that's hinting at Fitz instead of Fitz also starting today. Maybe he will start tomorrow. You never know, right? It's not a guarantee, because he pitched on Tuesday, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Actually, no, sorry, it is 5 days rest actually on Monday. I think it is. I might have, or maybe Fitz pitched on Wednesday. I don't remember. But either way, right? Fitz is an option, but you got to make a 40-man move, and it's not like that's difficult or anything. But is it the easiest path to doing things? Especially when you're calling them up for 1 day and then sending them right back down, right? I'm not saying they won't do it. I'm just saying it isn't necessarily where I think they're going to go. I think they're more likely to do Shugart. Shugart last pitched on Friday, pitched 2 innings, but he only threw like 24 pitches or something like that. Did not throw many pitches. So if that's the case, Shugart Saturday, Sunday rest after only throwing like 23, 24. You could go with the reliever to close out the 2nd inning, because there's 1 out, runner on first. You probably want to go to a reliever, right? Then you put Shugart out in the 3rd, let him go, try and go 3rd, 4th, 5th, right? Maybe even into the 6th, and you see what you can get out of him.
Oh, wait.
Because
they can't use Shugart.
Oh, crap. No, there's a 20...
Or can you do that with the 27th man?
I think you can with the 20. I think with the 27th man, I think it's a little bit different. I think they can do Shugart.
I don't know, but if they can't, then you have to. There's no way they
do Bailey. You wouldn't be able to do Bailey Horn then either, though. That's what.
Okay, then they definitely don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because what? Priester's definitely not. So then they have an easy 40-man move to make. That's DFA Tyler Heineman. Like, that's easy.
Yes, but and Penrod could be an option too. I just don't when I'm just thinking about it. So Fitz actually, let's see when he pitched on. Let me see what day he pitched on. Fitz, because I want to make sure I get this right on terms of the days of rest he's on.
What about Penrod? When was the last time he pitched?
Fitz pitched on Wednesday. So Fitz pitched on Wednesday, and the week before he also pitched on the Wednesday. Because then remember the Penrod last pitched Friday out of the bullpen, I think it was. But they've reduced his innings, so I don't know if they're because he's been pitching 1-2 innings really, so I don't know if they're necessarily going to call him up if they need someone to eat innings. That's why I think Shugart's probably the guy, just someone who can eat innings there and like
Has he pitched at all since getting optioned?
Shugart, he pitched on Friday. I know he pitched on Friday. I think he pitched on like Wednesday or Tuesday as well. But like he
how many? Not a ton. Okay, so then
not a ton, and he only threw like 23 or 24 on Friday. So
the other thing they could do is call up Fitz, but then start like a Bernardino.
Well, you go. Well, I think you go.
Oh no. Bernardino's definitely starting tomorrow. Okay. Actually, no, he's not. No, he pitched today. Never mind.
No, he's pitched back-to-back. Okay, so also this is why we bring up the bullpen and how the bullpen hasn't been rested. Kenley and Martin are probably going to have to be used tomorrow regardless of the results in the game. Lucas Sims has now pitched back-to-back days. Brennan Bernardino's pitched back-to-back days. Joely Rodriguez has pitched 3 days in a row. And Josh Winkowski threw 55 pitches on Friday. So, not the great... I mean, maybe Keller's an option. I don't know if he's...
Keller? No, they just resigned into a month. There's no way, because then
I doubt it. But if you need someone to,
you don't do that for a 27th man. That doesn't make any sense.
But if you need someone to eat innings, though, you need someone to eat innings. I'm not saying he's the likely option, but like he is an option. It's not likely.
It could be, for all we know, it could be Slate. It could be Slate.
It could
Slayton.
Be. Well,
but you would need a corresponding move because.
He's on the 15. Yeah, you just need to send one. No, you wouldn't. You just take him off the 15 day, and then the corresponding move comes on Tuesday. That wouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
The only thing is that he.
But you want him to eat. You want someone to eat innings, and he's not going to be eating innings.
No, exactly, and I don't think Slayton. You call him up. Yeah, I think you give him one more rehab appearance. I think, and then you Then you bring him back. I think. Because he's been out for a while. It's not like he only missed like the minimum time. Liam Hendricks probably isn't ready yet either. So in terms of that sense, I think it is very much I think that's very much the way to go.
Yeah. So you do have to add him to a guy to the 40 man. So tomorrow,
unless it's someone already on the 40 man.
So guys who are definitely not throwing. Joely's definitely not throwing. Probably not.
Oh,
Winkowski, probably not. No,
I could see Winkowski
chance.
Getting an inning or two, but he's not go. He would not. I don't think he's throwing more than like 20 or 25 pitches.
Jansen and Martin have to. Luis Garcia is probably going to get some action. Lucas, how many did Sims pitch today? Fangraphs hasn't updated. Let me refresh.
Let me go find it.
I think I can look at the box score. I'm such a dumbass.
I was about to say,
Sims pitched 23.
23. Yeah, no, Sims probably doesn't pitch. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how Joely Rodriguez threw 17 and 19 pitches for strikes? Can we talk about that?
Mr. Phipp.
Oh my god, but no. In all honesty, like Joely's definitely not pitching. Sims definitely not pitching. No chance. Not after back-to-back days.
Emergency.
And I
15,
highly doubt
23.
It. I highly doubt it. Bernardino.
Yeah.
Probably not, but 23.
I could see an opener.
I could see it, but I
crap.
think Zach
Kelly's No. It makes sense for the suspended game. You know why? It's 1 out.
No, well, 1 out in the inning, but you have a runner on first. And here's the thing: you're already starting in a high leverage situation, higher leverage situation, which just take more out of you in terms, and that's
So
and
no, they're
also.
definitely going with an opener then. If there's a runner on
Oh,
first, they're going with
I
an
think
opener.
they should.
No, they should, and then that's six innings.
Zach
They have to
Kelly
eat.
definitely could be an option because Kelly could finish the
Yeah,
Kelly could finish the inning and then even go into the next inning, right? And then like you have Luis Garcia, he could potentially go 2 innings, but like then you really only have Kenley and Martin, and like they're gonna need a really good. They're going to need a good start out of Nick Pivetta in the second game. Like that's absolute. They're
they need
going
him to go 6+.
Oh, absolutely. Well, not necessarily sick, but like I'll put it like this, right? If let's say Zach Kelly starts the first game and he gets out of the second and then pitches the third, then you have hypothetically Shugart pitches the fourth, fifth, and sixth. Let's say he can get through 3. Then you can go Luis Garcia, Martin, Jansen, 79, boom, done, right? Or you could go Garcia for 2 and just Martin, or Garcia for 2 and Jansen, however you figure it out, right? And then because then you could save one of Martin or Jansen for the second game, right?
Yeah, that could work
But
too.
but then Pavetta goes 5. You still have Winkowski, who I think could pitch, right? I think that's the thing. I think Winkowski still could pitch, right? So
Yeah,
I
but it
think
has to be
he's an
one
option.
inning. He's a 1 inning guy. Like
Maybe 2, maybe 2. I wouldn't put it past him going 2, but I don't see more than that, and that's why I'm saying that's why I think it has to be Shugart in some sense.
mhm.
I think it has to be because Shugart was sent down like a while ago. I think it actually feels like it was actually kind of a. See, he pitched like the one game and then was sent down. It wasn't like
Right. Yeah.
He was optioned on the 16th, so yeah, it'll be 10 days ago as of tomorrow. So that's definitely the way to do it. So yeah, Sugar. So in talking of the Blue Jays series, let's kind of get into series predictions. I can't really pick 2 out of 3. I don't think that's not really gonna work. But I will do this. I don't know if you remember. I'm pretty sure the series that this suspended game was in, it was a 3-game series, and I'm pretty sure the Red Sox and Blue Jays split the first 2 games. So they're winning the suspended game, 2 out of 3, and then the actual regularly scheduled 4 games, they're going 3 out of 4. They're going 4 out of
Yeah.
5 then.
I
That's
have.
what's taking.
Yeah, I think they. As much as I hate to say it, I think they lose one of the games tomorrow. But I think they win total 4 out of 5.
Cool.
I think they're
Perfect.
hungry. They're hungry.
Yeah. Well, they have. If they're not hungry, I mean, they're not making the postseason. So, figure it out. Yeah. If
I
they're not
want
hungry,
them to win both of them tomorrow. I don't think they will.
yes. No. So, yeah, they probably don't win both, but win at least one tomorrow. Don't lose both, and then hopefully win the next 3, or win both tomorrow, and then you can just go 2 out of 3 the rest of the way. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you know what? Win both tomorrow. Go 2 out of 3 Tuesday, Wednesday,
You know
Thursday.
what? Yeah, I'll be
Boom.
fine. Yeah, actually, no. Win 2 out of 3. They won't win. I just have a bad feeling. But Danny Jansen making history. That's the other thing we got to talk about.
Yes, Danny Jansen making history.
Wish
Shout
I
out
could be
Alex
there.
Score. Oh, I think we all wish we could
Alex
be
Cora,
there.
best manager in the league. Then it's not
Absolutely.
close.
Absolutely. What other manager has gotten a player to play for both teams in the same game?
That's right. None. Haha.
And John Schneider doesn't count because he sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He
that's
sucks.
it. I think that's pretty much it. We're closing on the 30-minute mark. A little bit of a shorter show, but we are very happy to get the show out. Hopefully it'll be out tomorrow morning on Monday. So you'll hear this on Monday before hopefully the first game. So with that, for Jason, my name is Derek. As always, thanks for tuning in to the Fenway Focus, and we will see you next time.